Dogecoin looks like it might have formed a bull flag pattern. We had a nice little run up. It looks like we got some resistance right here and we came down. It looks like we're getting some consolidation. I am looking at resistance, resistance, resistance. I had a trend line going to the downside like this. We basically came up, hit that. We keep bumping into that trend line and we're going to the downside right now. But we also have this bottom right here and this bottom right here giving me a trend line on the bottom, something like this. And this kind of lines up with the trend line on the daily time frame that I'll talk about here in a second. But let's go ahead and chart this out. So we had a nice little run up, consolidation. If we can break this trend line to start with, going to the upside, let's target from the top of the pole to the bottom of the pole, something like this. And then we can drag this. We could drag this to the breakout. Let's say something like this, I think. And we could probably even drag this a little higher. I would say something like that. We could drag this to this breakout, but the other thing that I usually like to do that I've been, and so this target is around 0.18897. But the other thing that I've been doing is, so we've have a trend line. If we break that trend line going to the downside, what I'll do is I'll look at the top and then I'll look at the bottom. And if we break this top right here, that would be more of a bull flag as opposed to a pennant pattern. So let's go ahead and drag that target up to this level. And that actually takes me up to the same area of the target from the daily pattern that I'm looking at, which is this one is sitting at 0.19397 approximately. We haven't broken to the upside yet, so we're still waiting to break this line going up. Actually, we're still waiting to break this line going up first, and then this line going up second. But it's also possible that we get rejected and come down here. And in that case, I'll show you the bearish scenario in a second. Not bearish, but if we break this trend line right here. But let's go to the daily time frame first and check out this real quick, because this is the other pattern that I've been looking at, and the one that I was talking about yesterday is I want to stay above this resistance. We have resistance, 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 and so far we actually are still above this level right here. Let's go ahead and do something like this. We had resistance, 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 came up, broke through it, looks like we got support on it, and it looks like we're bouncing on it. Let's see if we can stay above this trend line right here. And like I was saying, this bottom down here lines up with this bigger trend line on the daily time frame. I think in general what I was saying yesterday, a big part of my video, was that I want to see us stay above this trend line. I think if we can do that, then we can have a better chance to going higher. If we dip below it, I'm not sure about, I guess basically if we stay above it, then this pattern is still intact, I think. But if we break below it, I don't know if I'd be so confident on this pattern per se as this pattern, because we have this inverse head and shoulders, something like this. Finally completed it. It took us a long time to actually complete it in this area. I didn't actually think we were. I did kind of see it coming a while back, but this part took a while to complete. Anyways, we had this resistance, and that's the main part. We broke above it. Now we want to stay above it. I think the next thing that I'd be looking at, though, let's see, what else do I want to talk about? Let's go to the bearish scenario real quick. Let's go ahead and take out some of this stuff real quick. Sorry about that. I think that's okay for now. Okay, so same chart basically, and these are those red lines that I was looking at. These were those red lines of resistance that I wanted us to break out of, and I think if we could break out of these levels, which is around 17 cents, 0.17030, 0.16897, those are the previous tops. This is the previous top right here and the previous top back here. So okay, the thing that I wanted to say was the bearish scenario. Let's go ahead and delete this Fibonacci retracement. I don't think we need that right now. Let's go ahead and delete these two trend lines. We basically had these nice little run-ups, and then we broke them going to the downside. Let's go to let's just delete that. Okay, so the main thing that I wanted to talk to you about is the Fibonacci retracement. Okay, that is what I wanted to talk about, that Fibonacci levels. Basically, if we continue to break down, then I was looking at the, oh no, we're actually looking at this one. Sorry. Okay. The 50% level on the bigger time frame. Let's not time frame, but just the bigger scale. So let's go ahead and zoom out. And I'm looking at a Fibonacci retracement from the bottom at 8 cents to the top at like around 23 cents, somewhere around there. That's the scale that I'm using. So we get the Fibonacci retracement tool, we drag from the bottom to the top, and then that gives us some levels to watch as we retrace. Or sometimes, you know, these levels right here, they act as support and resistance a lot of the time. So right now, as you can see, we came up to that 38% level, we got resistance, started to head down a little bit. I think if we break this support line, or what is support now, what was resistance, if we break that going to the downside, the next spot that I would be looking at is the 50% level sitting at 0.156 approximately, and that's kind of where half of my limit order is. What I really want to do though is stay above this trend line so we could continue pushing to the upside. I would prefer not to come back down here, but if we do, then I'm prepared for that. At this level right here, I do have like a position somewhere in here. I think let's see, what was I talking about yesterday? Let's see, let's go to this time frame, and it's a little bit cleaner. I did a Fibonacci retracement from the bottom of this trend to the top of this trend, and I was just basically looking for a level to get in on at above the trend line. So let's go ahead and do this real quick. And I talked about this in yesterday's video, but we'll go through this again. We actually hit this target because yesterday it was a target. It was very close to the target, but it was still a target. We hadn't came down yet. I think it might have been, yeah, because we had this trend line going up and then we broke it. And I was saying the 38% level sitting at 0.16424 approximately came down, hit that target, got a bounce to the upside. Then we started forming this resistance, and ever since then we've been kind of trending, we've basically been going sideways, barely touching that level. So we touched it once, touched it twice, and it looks like it's kind of moving up as far as touching it. And it does look like we're really testing that resistance right now. Let's see if we get a pop to the upside. Let's see if we could break this top line up here, and or this wick that is all the way up to 0.17465. I think that's the top that we need to break to really break out of this bull flag pattern. Maybe you use the bodies. Actually, what I would probably do is use the bodies on the 1 hour time frame, something like that. I think if we could once we break that top somewhere around there, then yes, you could do a straight up horizontal line right here though, which would be somewhere at 17146. Sorry, I'll try to get better saying the numbers. Let's see what else. So if we go down, if we continue to, okay, so let's just simplify it again. We're looking at this trend line going to the downside. If we break that going to the upside, I'll be looking at this spot right here at 0.17179 approximately. If we could break above that, then I'll get more confident on this target up here at 0.19454. Also, check it out. If we break this level right here, it's also breaking this Fibonacci retracement, the 38% level sitting at 0.17330. So that's even more of a reason why I would target this area up here. But okay, so let's say we don't break this level and we continue to trend down, and we break this support line that we have right here, and we have the same one on the daily time frame. Then I would be looking at this Fibonacci retracement level sitting at 0.156. I'm hoping that we get a bounce right here and we stay above this, because that pattern's really nice. If we go back to the daily time frame, I've been looking at this pattern for a while, and I kind of got faked out going to the downside the other day, but I still like it. Until we break this trend line right here, then I still think this is possible. Let me know what you guys think though. If you guys like the video, hit the thumbs up, and if you want to watch the last video, click right here, and I'll see you in the next one.